wing? Whoa. That's not a good look for me. All right, here we go. Hey, guys.
Hey.
We're back.
We are back.
With another podcast. A video podcast. We're adding more humor into it.
Mostly him. I'm trying to work on it, but he mostly just takes the cake on it because he is a
Thank
humor
you.
genius.
I'm really not, but
You are.
anyway, so
I'm on.
listen, guys. So we ended up doing stop that. We ended up doing a test pilot video on like this something humorous. We ended up trying.
Yeah.
We didn't really like it. It didn't really. I don't know. It didn't really seem like all. It seemed like too like in your face. Like it was too crazy. But the whole point of doing that was to kind of add more humor. So because this is our flagship show, we're just gonna add the humor into here and ruin everyone's day who's watching this show now. We're coming after the ones who watch this show now. So yeah, so we're gonna try and make this show a little bit more funny. If you saw our last month podcast, which AJ, you've seen the thumbnail, right? So it has us because we did the 2023 movies. It has the phone. So get ready for a lot more of that. We're gonna add more stupidity to it. Mainly because it's just more enjoyable for everyone. I mean, these videos are like, what, 37 minutes and more?
40 minutes, sometimes an hour.
And, if there's not that much humor in it, it's kind of dry. So we're going to try and add some humor. And me and AJ like joking around anyway, so we're going to put it in our program. So without further ado, let's get into the Allan and Houston program. I'm losing track of what episode this is, but it's an episode, so whatever.
That's all that matters, and as long as people are watching, that's also matters.
Okay, so now tell us what the hell we're doing today's episode.
So what the hell we're doing today?
There you go. Very informal. That's the
very formal.
No more formal stuff. What the hell are we talking about?
But no, in all seriousness, what we're going to be doing in this episode is a topic about music, a topic that gets frequently brought up a lot, and the one topic about music that I thought of a while back ago is musicians/artists biopics.
There's plenty of those.
A lot. I'm not saying there's like a surprising amount, but there's a decent amount that are out there. For those who don't know what a biopic is, basically, to summarize it, in a sense, it's like a documentary, but it's like an adaptation of like actors playing whatever person it is, and it's like a brief kind of like explanation of what they're famous for and a lot of like historical, classic things that happened in their careers. So
classic, very classic things. A lot of these are so depressing. There's some bad things that happen in a lot of these, like the main characters in these biopics, and AJ just called it fantastic.
Well, the way that they kind of touch upon a lot of the things that happen, like not even the bad stuff, but even like the
No, I get what I'm playing busting your chops, but he has a point. Honestly, a lot of these films are like right to the core.
Right to the core, and what he said, a lot of the things that happen with these artists that have biopics, a lot of bad things happen, but I feel like it's showing you how the bad things eventually turned out good for them in the long run, and the way that they explain that and they film it is spot on. Even the actors that play the musicians or the band members do a phenomenal job, literally perfecting their craft. It's kind of like how Heath Ledger was in Dark Knight. They really get into the role, which is great. That just shows that you really care about the character that you're playing, and even if you've been a longtime fan. But so that's what we're going to talk about today. So how we're going to first start it off is we're going to talk about not all of the ones, but some of the biopics that we have seen and that we've liked, and then like towards like the middle-ish end of the podcast, we'll basically go back and forth and talk about biopics of artists and musicians that we would like to see and probably that should be released so that way everyone could see. Like some of your favorite artists or bands that you would like to see that never get one. And then we'll go from there. So since I really kind of took the lead, I'll let you go first on a biopic that
Let's talk about Elvis.
The recent one.
Yes. So as we know, Elvis is the king of rock and roll. I don't even know where I was going with this, but I don't know.
That's your man. He's a big
Elvis.
Elvis
I like
fan.
Elvis.
Big Elvis fan.
Yeah, I think the movie did a pretty good job at representing how chaotic Elvis was as a person. I mean that in a good way. Elvis was all over the place. And if you've ever heard Elvis's songs, you don't have to know so much about him to kind of tell. He was kind of one of those people that was like very hectic. He was kind of all of that. And that's what Elvis was known for. So I think the movie having all this editing trickery and it gets very overwhelming, but it kind of brings you into the shoes of the king himself and kind of how his life was, kind of the way that he liked to do things. Like his movies, I've never seen any of them, but what I've heard is that this Elvis movie is supposed to replicate a lot of his older films, which were highly edited and highly, what's the word, kish. Like it was like very cheapy, but kind of like I don't know, like tacky. Like a lot of his films were tacky. A lot of people were saying so. Like this film was supposed to kind of represent how he was semi kind of tacky with his original films. Like I said, I can't really clarify that because I've never seen his films, but as a guy, I think he was, he had a hectic life. A lot happened, and kind of in kind of a different fashion to the biopics that AJ was referring to. This one leaves on a bad note. So it's kind of interesting because some biopics, they choose different ways to end off the movie. Sometimes you want to show when they have their first single, or sometimes you want to end it off when they talk about them dying, or you want to talk about them going on to start their actual career. There's so many ways you can end a biopic, and the Elvis one chose to go with a more sad and kind of reminiscing sort of way. So that's Elvis for me. What about you, AJ?
Real quick, I haven't seen it, but I've seen clips all over TikTok, the internet. I believe the guy's name is Austin Butler.
Mm-hmm.
Did a phenomenal job playing him. I heard a lot of great things about him, but it looks good. Looks very good. For me, I would have to pick one that came out 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago. It was the Motley Crue biopic of The Dirt that came out in 2019. I thought it was pretty good. The selection of the actors to play Tommy Lee, Vince Neil, Nikki Sixx, and Mick Mars was good. The one thing I will say I was impressed of Machine Gun Kelly, who I'm sure a lot of people know who he is. I feel like you should know. He portrayed the role of Tommy Lee, the drummer. I'm not really a big fan of the guy in general. Just him as a person and his music. I used to listen to him back in the day, but not really anymore. But I will say, I give him a lot of credit for playing Tommy, doing like his mannerisms, the physique, because Tommy is like 6 foot. Like he's like, a pretty, not per se tall, but like a decently tall height. He's skinny because his nickname was T-Bone. Nikki Sixx, the bassist, and Tommy were really close, and Nikki would call him T-Bone, and he's got the him being skinny, and then got some of the tattoos. It's just the mannerism he does, like with twirling the drumsticks and doing everything. They nailed that. The actor that played Nikki, kind of a decently good interpretation. The guy who played Vince wasn't bad, and then the guy who played Mick Mars, the guitarist, I thought that was underrated. Kind of accurately got him down. A lot of things in this movie were not true, I will say. A lot of the events that happened in the movie were not true. Some of it were made up, but some of the events of how they first started, a lot of the incidents that happened with Nikki Sixx, the bassist, overdosing on heroin, Vince Neil getting into the car crash with the this guy from this band called Hanoi Rocks, this guy Razzle, he got charged with vehicular manslaughter. That was true. The whole thing with Tommy sneaking around with a porn star, I believe was true, but eventually would lead to Pamela Anderson because he dated that Heather Locklear girl. But overall, I thought it was good. They played a lot of their hit songs. They showed of how they first started. They playing all around the clubs in L.A., eventually leading to the big one, the Whiskey A Go-Go, and then eventually playing the big stage of the L.A. Forum, and then they show them touring with Ozzy, and then they show like their peak all the way kind of to their downfall, and then they just show, you know, where they are 20 years later. This was before like the other breakup happened and a lot of the other stuff. And then the credits wasn't bad. It shows their 2015 reunion concert, which was the last concert they ever played. And then they showed a lot of the actors. And then the actual guy, like the Motley Crue members there. So overall, I thought it was a fun, interesting biopic. Yeah, a lot of the stuff in there wasn't really historically accurate, but for the sake of the fans of Motley Crue and 80s, you know, rock and hair metal, it was good. I would say it was good. I would recommend it if you haven't watched it. It's probably still out there. Yeah. So that was me with The Dirt.
Not bad. Never seen it, but it sounds cool. I'm gonna say Walk the Line.
The Johnny Cash one.
Mm-hmm. Because I am a big fan of Joaquin Phoenix. That's my man right there.
Joaquin is a good actor.
Yes. Love the guy. He had a very accurate portrayal of Johnny Cash. Another person that lives a very hectic life, like a lot of early rock and roll artists did. I thought it was pretty interesting. I don't know, to see his portrayal. Of course, Joaquin Phoenix being a method actor, which for those who don't know what a method actor is, they are a type of actor that really get into their role so much that they almost become the character. It's kind of what you were referring to with Heath Ledger. That's an example of being a method actor. So Joaquin Phoenix, I think that's a very strong suit he has. So I gotta say, you know, that was a pretty good film. Good music, obviously. If you don't like Johnny Cash music, you probably wouldn't like the film, but that's kind of to be kind of understood. Been a while since I've seen the film, so I don't have much to comment on it, but I always remember seeing it when I was growing up, and I loved it. And it's still a movie I look back on fondly. And actually, I think the soundtrack is actually a pretty cool piece alongside the original music. So, yeah.
Probably the only one I could think of, and this is on my end of the last one, because I know there's other ones out there. You have the Elton John one, and then the Jim Morrison one with Val Kilmer. The one I'm going to be talking about is probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest biopic ever that came out a few years ago, and everyone, probably a lot of rock fans loved it, the Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, Queen, one of the greatest bands of all time. Rami Malek did the greatest job ever playing Freddie. The way he looked, mannerisms, the way he, you know, a lot of things he did was very good. The actor who played Brian May, the actor who played Roger Taylor, the guy who played John Deacon, all were great. I haven't seen it in a while. I've only watched it fully once and parts of it whenever it come on TV multiple times, but I would remember whatever scene would come on. I would get excited. Probably my favorite scene, I mean, of course, everyone's favorite was the Live Aid. I agree, it was great. But probably my second favorite scene would probably have to be when they were early in their career and I forgot where or what farmhouse they're at, and they were recording Bohemian Rhapsody, the song. And I thought that was really cool. You get to see like how at that time in the 70s they all had the long hair and they kind of were starting out because they had that early like hard rock supersonic-y sound to their music. And then when you see the 80s, it kind of really transforms into their arena pop rock sound, and then it focuses on Freddie's solo career. And then like how you were saying about the Elvis one, the ending in a sense was happy, but then it's like when you find out that, you know, Freddie unfortunately died due to AIDS, it was very sad. And I thought the song that they used for the credits was amazing. Yeah, I think no other biopic can top it because there was a lot of heart and soul into this biopic. And again, Rami Malek did a phenomenal job. Like, really did a phenomenal job. And yeah, I mean, I'm just speechless because, like, that Live Aid scene just gets you so speechless because you really have nothing to say. You just gotta just bask in the moment and let the scene play from the start to end. So,
good movie. I saw it when it first came out. It was good. It was great. It actually got me into Queen when it first came out. The months after it released, I was listening to all the Queen albums. So I guess it kind of did its job in kind of getting the story of Queen out there and introducing a whole new generation to Queen. Of course, I mean, I knew what Queen was before, but I never really kind of got a good grasp on them until after the film. So film worked in that aspect.
I was the same way with Motley Crue. Like, I knew who Motley Crue was, but after watching the biopic, The Dirt, I got more into Motley Crue. So biopics are honestly good because it can get you into their music, and then eventually it will spawn a whole generation. And, you know, that's probably what the point was with, you know, these biopics, to get the new generation involved. And some people in the new generation finds it on their own, which is great, but for the majority of the populace, these biopics can help that, which is amazing.
Yep.
So,
as fans of music, that's the way we look at it. I'm just trying to see the time.
We still got plenty of time.
Oh, yeah,
so, whoop. I have no other ones to talk about, right?
I haven't watched that many biopics. I've been looking at doing such, so.
Well, figured we could talk about the next portion, and this probably could take up to the end of the video.
Oh, yeah.
And feel free to put in the comments below. Let's talk about, for upcoming biopics, what artist / bands would you like to see a biopic be made on?
All.
Well,
I think everyone deserves a biopic.
We can go. Let's go back and forth.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
No, I mean, well,
I'll let
yes,
you go first.
Yes, they all do, but okay.
Tough. There's a lot of bands and artists out there.
Animals.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Okay, so now, mind you, I don't really know if they have biopics, so I'm just saying what I would like to see. If there's biopics,
that's the purpose. Like, what would you like to see?
But I'm saying if they already exist.
I don't think so.
Well, if they do, let me know down in the comments. Make sure to also call me a stupid dumbass as well.
Expose them in the comments.
And then say stupid dumbass, and then leave the link because I'm too stupid to find it online. Just, you got to spell it out for me. Stupid dumbass. Hey, look, here's the link. Find out about it. And then I'll take a look at it. So yeah. Anyways, with that disclaimer out of the way, let's get on to what I think. I think the Animals deserve them. That's a band that I love, not only because of House of the Rising Sun, but what did I say?
You said House of the Rising Sun, but you were saying how much you like them, not just for that. There's other songs, but I was making a joke saying only for the House of the Rising Sun.
Oh man,
but I'm kidding.
Because AJ only knows like one song by them.
Yeah,
I only know 2 songs by them, but both of those 2 songs are really good. And it's really the amount of times I listen to the songs. There's a few artists that I listen to that I'll listen to only a few songs by them, but just based on those 2 songs alone, it's enough for me to kind of warrant them being one of my favorite artists. Now that could be its own, separate thing. A lot of people might call me weird, but I like the Animals. Don't Bring Me Down is probably another one of my favorite songs by them. Heavy use of synthesizers. I think we need more biopics of 60s artists, aka the era of the synthesizer, the best era, second best era. I have to correct myself there. Forgot I'm the 50s guy here. I'm the designated channel's 50s guy. So, but yeah, no. I jokes aside, I think the Animals deserve one. Let me know what you think.
On the topic of 60s artists, I think that this artist should have obviously, they made documentaries about him for sure, but how cool it would be to get a biopic of Jimi Hendrix would be fucking amazing, because I really have grown to love Jimi Hendrix. He's unarguably, this is my opinion, unarguably the greatest guitarist of all time, or one of the greatest guitarists of all time. And I think that they should have, they should, hopefully one of these days, find the right actor, of course, to play Jimmy, and of course, like get like a supporting cast of like his band, the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Like find someone to get the drummer Mitch Mitchell and the bassist. I think that would be amazing to see a biopic about the legendary Jimi Hendrix, to kind of go from like showing like, you know, how with his signature guitar sound, it shows all the songs all on the Watchtower, his cover from Bob Dylan, to Purple Haze, to Foxy Lady, to Little Wing, to Voodoo Child, all of that. That would be an amazing biopic. I would love to see that, because something about Jimmy, because not only is he a phenomenal guitarist, he's a great singer. But I mean, his guitar, like when you hear him, man, he play the guitar, it's like it just melts my ears every time I hear him play. And I would love to see a Jimi Hendrix biopic. So.
Not bad. I would choose. What would I choose? I don't know. Elvis, probably. No, I'm kidding.
Wait a minute, they made one.
Yay! We recap.
Recap.
For the people like me that forgot the first half of the video. See? You guys should have been paying attention. I don't know. I should have been paying attention. Let's see. What artist deserves one? Easy. The Beatles. Yeah. No, they don't.
Technically, they have the Get Back documentary and all the other ones, but for a biopic...
Those are documentaries. Documentaries and biopics are different.
Yeah, I know, but like a biopic...
I think we should hire a cast, right? We're going to have... I don't have the cast together, but if I had the cast together, I would...
Who would you have play Ringo?
Jason Statham would be Paul McCartney. It would be John Lennon. I don't know, but someone good would play all of them.
What about George Harrison?
I don't know. I don't have that.
What about Ringo?
So it's one of them. I know Jason Statham. I almost called him George Statham. Jason Statham will be in there somehow. Oh my God! All right, how about Christian Bale as Ringo?
No,
Christian. No, you know who should be Paul McCartney? Not Paul McCartney.
George.
No,
John
Lennon. Keanu Reeves. He has the hair.
But there's more to the hair.
Yeah, but you can't get that hair you can't replicate such beautiful hair.
Can you picture?
Like on Lennon.
Can you picture Keanu Reeves going, "I wanna hold you"?
You swap the glass. Make him put on a pair of Lennon glasses, and send us a bill for the studio. We're gonna build this movie. But we got to find out about my boy Harrison. That's my guy right there. Oh, and also Ringo too. I almost forgot about him. Who could play Ringo? That's the thing. We got to find out who would play Ringo.
That's a band that's kind of impossible to find members to actually replicate, kind of in a way of.
All right, so we'll because we can't think of anyone. Let's get the guy who played Elvis. He could play Ringo.
Just love the mustache on him.
There you go. I don't know.
Just love the mustache.
And then my boy McCartney, who's gonna play him? Jason Statham.
And then Keanu for Lennon.
Yep. And then Paul McCartney will also be played by Jason Statham. Double role.
You just said Paul McCartney twice.
What?
You said McCartney twice. You mean?
No,
Harrison?
Jason Statham is going to be playing Paul McCartney and George Harrison.
What?
They're going to use green screens. Nah, they need Jason Statham when they do a Keith Moon movie. But like,
why?
because then when the drum set explodes, it's like all these army men come out of the drum set, and it's like I don't know, it's like an action film.
It's like an action. It goes from a biopic to an action film.
It's like secretly that the drum set exploded because there's an ongoing war in the studio, the Great Studio War of 1967. It's going to be an action. Like you'll see people jumping out, with guitars that could shoot picks. You'll see people with violins going like this with bows, just like shooting people with their bows, their violin bows. Yeah, it would be insane. Jason Statham would be behind that. We're gonna have The Rock. Rock's gonna play Ringo.
Wait, you went.
Oh wait, hold on. Moon. No, not Moon. We'll play. So Dwayne will play. Who are the other guys from The Who? I'm not even there.
Wait, so we go from the Beatles to The Who. I mean, so you got Keith Moon on drums, then you have Pete Townsend on guitar.
So Pete Townsend will be voiced by, not voiced by, but he'll actually be played by Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
He doesn't even look like him.
It doesn't have to. That's why they have CGI. Computer Graphic Industries.
Then you got Roger Daltrey on vocals, and then John Entwistle on bass.
Yep, that's why you got Computer Graphic Industries to put that together for you. It's funny. It doesn't even stand for that.
Beatles obviously would be one. I mean, even though they made tons of documentaries, yeah, fuck it, give them a biopic.
Yeah, there you go. Enough documentaries. Let's actually put a biopic together.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna wait because they want to find the right cast. So I get that. So that's understandable.
I like to see the Stones.
Mm-hmm. The Stones.
Stones would be good.
Yeah. Yep.
It would be interesting to see who would play Mick Jagger. I think that would be very interesting.
Himself. He would play himself.
Fuck it.
I don't know, right?
Now to find someone to play the late great Charlie Watts on drums would be great. Keith Richards on guitar, and then Ron Wood. He was like, yeah.
Keep going.
Another band, I wanted to save this one towards the end, but I'm not going to really talk about it too much. I would really love to see a Led Zeppelin. That one I feel would really have to wait a long time because they were not only a really influential band, but the fact that they would have to probably try to cram in as much in their career as possible because they had a lot of highlights in their career, and even finding the right actors. I mean, I feel like John Bonham's son, could play his dad. It's possible.
He could.
And then finding the other guys for Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones, and Robert Plant, I mean, would be kind of maybe a task. But that one, I feel like I would understand if that one took a very long time. And I would not mind.
I wouldn't either. I don't know. Yay! Happiness.
You know,
I don't even have one.
I'd like to see Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Speaking of the guy, that was all I was going to say.
I wonder who would play Stevie.
His brother could play him.
Jimmy? Do they look alike?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, hey, Jimmy, you want to play your brother in a biopic? Sure!
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time a brother stepped in for another brother.
Fast and Furious with Paul Walker's brother. It could work. It could work.
It could. Especially if it's done the right way and they look the same and they almost talk very similarly.
And the mannerisms are the same. The way, whatever.
And they actually played alongside each other as well. Yeah, so I think they did 2 albums alongside each other. So, and they're both kind of coming from the same source, so they both play very similar music as a whole. So I don't see it being too far out of the realm of probability. I feel like it really could happen. Jimmy Ray Vaughan playing Stevie Ray Vaughan in Texas Flood.
That should be the name of the biopic.
That's
Texas
what I'm saying,
Flood.
Texas Flood. Yeah, that would be it. We got the movie. Such an expansive list.
I know, because Because since they made that Elton John one, I feel like they have to make a Billy Joel one at some point.
Billy Joel is a good one.
Another great solo artist who released so many top hits and made a large sum of money. Mm-hmm. So I wonder who would play the great piano man.
We just gotta find someone that looks like the piano man.
You forgot the name of the biopic. You have it right there. The piano man.
Yep. No, I don't think there's no question as to what other name they could give it. Mm-hmm. It's got to be the piano man.
Just who would play them is the question.
Jason Statham. Round them all together. Jason Statham in the piano man.
You don't have to hide that British accent.
True, but underneath the keys they lift up and there's like a full revolver or a shotgun. Because it turns out everyone that's in the audience of the piano venue is like murderous heathens. And so he's become the piano man. And he goes to different venues to kill vampires who watch the piano. I don't know. I gotta stop bringing Jason Statham into this.
You think you have a little crush on him.
No. I do like his movies, though. So
he has a very good actor.
I don't know who would play him, but it's kind of one of those things that sometimes the right actor for the job is an actor you've never even heard of because they just audition and they win the part. So it could be me or you. We could be Billy Joel, as weird as that is. I don't look like Billy Joel at all, nor could I replicate his mannerisms. I can't even play the piano the right way. The point I'm trying to make here is it could quite literally be anyone. Anyone could actually play Billy Joel or all these other guys that we talked about. So we can't really honestly give a very accurate description as to who would play what. We just don't know. So, but what we do know is I think it might actually be the end. Yeah, I think that was it.
How far?
We're at 32 minutes.
All right. I mean, I got one more.
Aww.
I'll make it.
Everyone just went,
oh, come on, jerk off, come on.
You deflated the audience.
One more. There's a lot I could have picked. Could have picked Black Sabbath. Could have picked AC/DC. Could have picked Van Halen. I would have loved to see I'd love to see an AC/DC. But I would have to be in two parts because there was two different eras from two different singers. And they brought two different styles. But that's it.
That was
That's it.
That's it. You hear glass break in the background. Sorry.
So yeah, that's the end of the podcast for today.
Yay. I think we're going to be filming another one, right?
Yeah, we're doing another Allan&HoostanProgram, I think, after this.
We don't even know what it's going to be about. We're just going to hit record and
see what happens.
See if we can pull ourselves together.
There you go.
But let us know what you think about the new humor that we're adding to the show. Is it actually funny, or is it just sadly very depressing?
And we'll stop at your
convenience. We'll stop immediately. As soon as we get comments, you'll see this video be re-edited. No, I'm actually joking, but you'll see us. Basically, when this is going out, the results will come back 2 months after this video. So in 2 months, we'll get our act together if you guys don't like this. And of course, we're joking. But yes, so let us know what you guys think. Does the humor work on the show? Does it make it more funny? Does it make it more unbearable? I don't know. But yeah, so anyways, this guy right here is Allan, and I'm Hoostan. And we're going to see you in the next podcast. See you next month, guys. Bye-bye. Yay.